What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name's Tarun Shetty. These are my thoughts. Hope you guys are doing well. I made it. This is the old apartment. I'm sure you guys recognize this place. I feel like I've shown so much of my life. Like, people know where I live. Remember when I had that breakfast at my house? I put it on Facebook. I was like, Tarun Shetty eats breakfast. Anybody can come. And like, random people showed up at my house, like 2 random people, and like it's one girl like took photos of like my apartment, and I had a girlfriend at the time, and she was like, I think this person might come back and kill us, but she was actually really nice, and we just had breakfast right here at this dining table. But I was thinking, so many memories here in this apartment, so many of my shows I've shot in my living room here, so it's always nice to be back here. But I came here, I got back at like, I think like 1 o'clock in the morning. And of course, I haven't been in my apartment in like 8 months. So my drain doesn't work. I have to call a plumber, but it's Labor Day weekend. I don't want to call someone and get charged double time. So got to hold out. My car, the oil needed to be changed this morning. So I had to like go do that. I had to get groceries. There's no food here. So I'm just sort of getting settled in. This is my process. And as soon as I flew into LA, first of all, I almost came so close to this changing my ticket. I was like, well, maybe I can just come in October. I was like, is there any rush for me to fly back? And I was like, no, Tarun, just go. Don't be a pussy about it. Just go. So I flew in, and of course, like, there's a different energy when I fly into LA. Like in Florida, it's kind of laid back. Like even the commercial shoots are laid back. The comedy shows are laid back. But there's like this energy here in LA where people move out here to be stars, right? And you just feel that vibe. Like I just went to my favorite coffee shop, which is down the street, by the way. I'll do a plug for them. It's called Dialogue. It's like I literally live a few blocks away. And it's packed there now. Like I used to be nobody there. Now it's like, I have to like pre-order in advance to get my coffee. There's a weird like energy of like influencers and actors and writers, directors. Like that's what LA is. And that's what I was talking about in my last vlog. Like you can get very complacent living in Florida, but you have to be here to really, really try to make a name for yourself. Like you have to take a chance in LA, New York's where you have to go and test yourself against the market. So when I flew in last night, I could definitely pick up that energy. Even today, I was like, dude, just relax. I try to meditate every morning and afternoon, so I just meditated, and I was like, it's okay. Nobody knows. I mean, pretty much nobody knows I'm in town. But usually whenever I come to LA, I text too many people, and then I'm getting coffees for the next 2 weeks. Like every day there's a new coffee, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, why did I tell people I'm in town? But this time I'm like, let me just go slow. I think I texted my friend Atif, who I actually made Desi OC with. He's a good friend of mine, so I was like, hey man, let's get coffee if you're around. So I think I'm gonna do that later today, and I might go for a walk. I'm not part of a gym anymore in LA, so it's just interesting to revisit old stomping grounds. I don't know how many people actually go back to their childhood homes or old hometowns. My parents built this beautiful house in New Hampshire when I was born, right? And we lived there for 40 years. And I used to tell my mom, I'm never going to go back to that house because one, there's too many memories. I mean, I just think about my parents living in that house, growing up there. I don't want to see some random family living there. They took down the basketball hoop, which I used to love shooting hoops. So when I come back here, I have all these memories of, things that used to happen here. Like all the things we used to shoot and all the girlfriends I used to. Actually, you know what? Let's not go into that. But I'm just saying so many great memories happen in places. And sometimes I think I have a regret. I'm like, well, maybe I should have stayed in New Hampshire and just done computer science or gone to law school or, stayed closer to home. The grass is always greener on the other side. But then I'm like, man, I've lived a pretty full life. Like I've done many cool things. No matter what happens, even if I die tomorrow, I think I can, die with a smile on my face because I've done everything I wanted to do. Somebody left a comment on my last video. They were like, "Oh, you guys were pioneers for taking small acting roles, opening the door for others." And I really mean it when I say that I'm okay if that's my legacy, on this earth, is opening doors for others. I mean, granted, yeah, of course, I want to cash in. It'd be nice to cash in majorly. But you know what? If I helped other people, I mean, how many people can say that? I mean, I've got so many people today. I mean, somebody just messaged me on Facebook and they were like, hey, I was having a tough time in high school and your comedy really helped me get through shit. And it really meant something, because a lot of times I make stuff and I just put it out there into the ether and I'm like, well, I guess nobody's going to see this shit. And then, 10 years later, you get a message. If I've helped open the doors for Desi's, because look, honestly, when I was coming up, there was nothing. I remember I'd go for auditions. It was like, hey, can you be a computer IT guy or a doctor? I mean, it's still like that today, somewhat. I mean, they still want Indians to play doctors. But back then, it was unheard of an Indian being a lead role in a movie or a TV show, which is why Kal Penn was such a big deal when he made Harold and Kumar, because it was like, wow, an Indian guy's actually going to play a lead in a movie. And then the movie was a big success. I mean, I don't think it was an opening weekend success, but I think it caught on slowly later in DVD, I think. But I know it did well enough where they made a sequel. So look, it's really easy to complain about careers, what happened, what breaks you didn't get. But I think a lot of being content, not happiness, but just being content, is being okay with what happens and being like, well, okay, this maybe this isn't for me, and maybe I'm being pushed in another direction, and I'm really trying to find that flow, especially now, because I'm telling you, I don't really have a lot going on in LA, on the talent side. I don't have a lot of representation setting me out here in LA. So I've just, I'm putting a lot of faith into myself right now. But I've always done it like that, right? If you don't believe in yourself, who else will? Hope you guys have a great Labor Day weekend. Talk soon. Bye.